there's no instructions that come with the insert, but that's okay. I think I can figure it out. I see 3 Allen head bolts on the back of the end cap here, and I took a wrench to these last night to see how easy they would come out, and they're in there pretty good. So it's going to take me a while, and stupidly I can't find my 4mm T-handle, so I'm just going to have to power through this with the little small L-shaped Allen key here, and I'm not going to bore you with that whole process, so let's get back to it when I have it off. So we'll struggle through this last bolt, and you'll just have to wait for me to get it off. And there we go. There are the guts of our Yoshimura RS3 muffler. So let's take a look in there and see if there's anything cool. I don't see anything really sticking a light up there now. Probably can't see it on the camera, but it's a perforated core, and the core really doesn't seem like it's too much different in size than this restrictor here, or this baffle. So it looks like all this is really doing is just adding just an inner pipe here. It's just baffling some of the sound. It might restrict it a little bit. I don't know, it's hard to tell. And that's pretty interesting here too, to note that this is machined. So I thought maybe you can clock this outlet a little bit, but you can't. It's got a machined groove in it, so that's a little bit of a bummer, because I probably would have shot this thing more straight back or whatever. I burnt my leg on it a couple times, but strictly because my leg was directly in front of the flow of exhaust, so that was my own stupid fault. It's not Yoshimura's fault. So let's stick this in there. It looks like it just sits flush right there, and it looks like that can clock within that groove. So they definitely designed this system for this insert in mind. So I'm dead positive now, looking at this, that they most certainly didn't design this system on my request. So that was just wishful thinking, but that's alright. Yeah, one can dream. Anyways, so I think it's just a matter of seeing which way we need to clock this thing to get it to line up properly. So I might have to fiddle with it a little bit to get it to line up. I'm going to go ahead and fiddle with it and get it right, and then I'll show you after I've gotten it right. Alright, so I gotta say, I've been messing with this thing for a few minutes now. I'm not really quite 100% sure I like the way it fits in here. The only way I can get this end cap flush is by clocking this little outlet spout up like that. I just don't think that's the way it's supposed to go. I'm not sure. So what I'm probably going to do, it looks like it's hitting the inside lip of that, like the insert is just a little bit too big. So I'm going to take it out and see if I can't peen down the edge of that inlet, or that insert lip, to make it pass by the edge of this outspout right here. So I hated like hell to have to do that, but basically I wanted this, I think it's supposed to go like that because that's how the other cap goes. So what I did is I peened this inside edge in a little bit to try to help it clear the lip on this right here. So, and the way it all lines up, that was the only way I was able to do it. So unfortunately, I don't think that's the way Yoshimura meant for it to be done. Obviously they don't want customers having to readjust stuff with a hammer. Also, I think it's probably a newer product, and maybe cut a millimeter too long, and that's what was causing the issue. So we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna bolt it up, and it's still not exactly flush, but I don't know. I'm not gonna go too drastic with it. I'm just gonna try to get it to fit the best I can. Alright, so I got it in there after much fiddling and shot peening the edges there, or not shot peening, but peening the edges there, and that's where I felt it was most comfortable lining up after doing that. There was a small gap over here if it wasn't lined up properly, so there was literally like one place that this could be. So with that in mind, Yoshimura, if you're watching this, if this thing was literally, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch shorter when you made it, it probably wouldn't have needed all that. However, all these exhausts and what they had at the shop might be different. I don't know. It's not a big deal for me, but I can imagine somebody out there is going to have a problem with that. But either way, you know, let's take it for what it is. It's just a little muffler insert. It's not a showpiece. When I was installing this exhaust, I did have an alignment problem on this bolt up here that I've realized other people have had with their systems. And to fix that, all I did was just take this bracket and bend it a little bit more of an extreme angle until this bolt was able to be threaded in. And then I just force bent the bracket by threading in this bolt. Wasn't a big deal. So at the end of the day, you have an exhaust insert. If you have to bang it with the hammer for a little bit, yeah, you shouldn't have to do that, but if you do, it's not a big deal. So let's get this thing fired up. I guarantee you, I hear my kids outside, and if I fire it up, I bet you one of them will come running in. Let's find out. So, just as I expected, somebody came in. 2 people came in. What brought you in here?
I heard the bike.
You heard the bike, yeah. And you wanted to see what was going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I put an insert in the muffler to maybe quiet it down.
Oh.
But it doesn't sound like it's really quieting it down that much.
Oh.
We need to go test it on the road.
Oh.
Okay? Alright, out here going to test out the Yoshimura low volume insert. Lars is doing some wheelies. That was a good one. I can't do wheelies that good. I could try one, let's see. Visor down. I literally do not hear one bit of difference between the volume of this thing. Maybe a little bit less on the deepness, but still overall maybe just a little bit quieter. Still topping out 57, 58. 60. So no apparent loss in horsepower. So not too much difference in sound. Definitely no difference in horsepower. I still topped out at 60, so that's pretty decent top out in any condition. What's up? I know. You couldn't even you were that far back? I topped out at 60.
I was like a 45.
45?
I got to 60 eventually.
So clearly having no air in your rear tire is gonna hurt your top speed. But you can do sick wheelies. That was good. I'm still a little afraid to do some wheelies because I don't know if they have spare parts for the monkey so much yet. And if I loop out on this thing. That was a decent one. That was all right. All right, so normal cruising. I'm gonna keep my visor down. Lars has got the Yoshimura RS9 system on his Grom. So at normal cruising, this Yoshimura pipe definitely is not loud. But it's still pretty close to being the same volume as the pipe with no insert. Put my visor back down. The Yoshi pipe without the insert was never obnoxiously loud unless you're wide open throttle, and with the low volume insert, you know, there's really no discernible difference in the sound, you know, in normal cruising. It might be a little bit lower, I don't know, it's screwing with my mind because, you know, I used to always hear my bike over Lars's bike, but right now, it's when you get on the throttle, open up the visor again, go down one of my gravel roads here, and check out the Supermoto track real quick. That'll give you a idea of what the bike is sounding like under different varying throttle conditions. Our Supermoto track has gotten insanely good since the last time you've probably seen it on video. So good. I'll have some videos of all the fun that I had. Lars and I went out on a Grom cruise, some wheelie practice, some good times were had, so we'll do some other videos for that stuff. But to sum it all up, my final thoughts on it: the Yoshimura low volume insert for the Honda Monkey is a bit of a letdown for me. It did not really make the exhaust quieter. It could be argued that it did, but everybody that heard it that knew the monkey, my wife, Lars, myself, my kids, nobody really said, wow, it's a lot quieter. It was more or less like, it's a little bit quieter, I think. So honestly, there's really not too big of a difference if it is working enough to tell. It's hard to explain. Basically, I couldn't tell, and I ride the bike more than anybody. My friend Lars couldn't really tell. He hears the bike more than anybody else. So between those two opinions, I got to say that it really didn't quiet the exhaust down. And however, I was surprised to see that there was no performance lost. We topped the bike out at 60, and that was probably my previous best with the regular exhaust. So at the end of the day, it's not hurting anything, and it might make it a little quieter. I don't know, but it was like $26, probably like $30-something shipped. It's not a huge loss out of my budget for what I'm doing with the bike on the grand scale of things. It was worth a try, and unfortunately it didn't really do much. So would I recommend it for you if your exhaust you think is too loud? No, probably not. It's probably not going to do anything. It's not going to be a game changer for you. So I wouldn't recommend it. However, I still love Yoshimura, obviously. Great company. They just missed the mark on this product. It really doesn't work. So I love you guys, but if you want to give this another shot, hit me up, throw one my way, and I'll be more than happy to compare and do this all over again with a quieter insert. In the meantime, my plan, maybe I'm going to do a little bit of engineering on this insert and see if I can't try to do something to quiet this exhaust down with this insert. Being that it's engineered for this pipe already, I have a good platform. Being I'm not going to screw anything up, I'm not worried about messing it up. So I'm going to fool around with it a little bit, and I'm going to see if I can't make it quieter on my own by doing a little bit of engineering. I've done this with cars before, so I might have a few ideas on how I can get this insert to help quiet down the exhaust with my own ideas. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, got some really cool stuff coming. Got a handlebar install. I got some Grom stuff that I've been pushing out. Got some Grom things that I'm going to be doing. Getting ready for the Creek Bottom Classic at the Barbara Small Bore event. That's going to be a good time. I'm going to have footage from there. And the most exciting thing of all this up next for this monkey is going to be the man-in-the-box intake system. I have that in the box right behind me. Hope to do that very soon. If not, might come out before this video. I'm not sure. However, this intake is going to be a major upgrade, and with that intake, I'm also going to add a Bazaz tuner and the AFM meter that self-tunes it. So, got big, huge things coming for this bike, and glad you're along with me on this journey. If you enjoy what I do, I love all the comments, so I know there's a lot of you out there that are enjoying this. But please subscribe. I'm trying to build this channel. The magic number is 1,000. I'm at 370, 371 or something at the time of this. So anything you can do to help me build this channel, I want to get to 1,000. Not worried about making money off of it all, but I want to make it a legit channel. And I'm glad for your support out there, and anything you can do to help me, very appreciative. So thanks again. We'll see you next time.